we have Lila here. Today we are going to be working on heel. We learned that in class today before seeing this video, and Lila does not know a heel whatsoever. She is only moderately food motivated as well, so I do think she's a perfect little puppy to start working on this with. So we're going to go through the motions of step 1, 2, however many steps there are to teaching a very nice heel. So first things first, I actually do start this off leash. In class, we're starting it on leash because we have to be on leash, but I start with on leash, off leash teaching that heel because it kind of gets us out of the habit of holding them in that heel. I see a lot of people, we want to hold them up in that heel and be like heel and just hold them there, but if we do that, they don't actually understand what that heel means to them. It's just the word means heel. The word heel means that we're going to grab them and be angry every time they leave from that heel position. So I like to start off leash, even if our dogs aren't too terribly motivated over it, because I want to start with those good behaviors there and work our way to a really solid heel. And even if we do want to do off leash, it's good to start off leash and then we can put that leash on after. Lila! Good girl. Good job. So I'm going to have her heel on my right side over here. Is that a good treat or do you want a better one? Lila! Good girl. So first things first, get your attention on me. Get her attention on me and then get her attention off of me. So our first step here is just positioning. I like 3 steps in our final healing process. Lila, just getting into our stationary heel, because if I can't say a heel and she goes into our stationary heel, she doesn't fully know that heel position. Lila, so I want to say that, I want to call our word heel. We're into it, yes. So that's a little off positioning. So what I can either do, good girl, is either good girl, bring her into that position. Okay, good girl, Lila. Or go up against a wall. We won't be going up against a wall right now just because she's fine. She doesn't need it. But if you need a wall, put against a wall. If you're having troubles with them sitting, backing up and sitting, also go up against a wall and practice going like that. But that position, I will just correct it by Lila, heel. Yes. So that's fine with me too. I would like her to probably ideally be right here. Good girl. Good, yeah, good girl. Okay, good girl. Yeah. Okay, go get it. You can go get the treat. Good girl. So I want to call into that heel, just our verbal cue first and lure into it. So we start with food lure, and then once we're ready, we can go off that food lure. So I call her attention off, and again, if I call her the heel and I want to correct that position that she's in, I do not want to move to get into the right position. I want to move her to get into the right position so she understands where she's getting that reinforcement from. Lila! Heel. Yes, and that's fine with me too. So if you don't like the position she's in, I'm taking what we can get right now. Good girl, Lila. But we can remove her back into it. So if she has a lot of hind end awareness, we can back her in. She doesn't. So we'll just lure her into it. Heel. Yes, good girl. Or we can, yes, good girl. That's perfect position. Good girl. Good job. Good. Good girl. It's all about what you want as well. It's totally whatever you want. If you're fine with them being over there, okay, good girl. Then they're fine with being over there. If you want them a little tighter, then just only reinforce where you want them to be and make sure that you're only reinforcing. Move them into the spot where you're going to reinforce them for that. Next thing is also making sure that we're always calling them in and out of a heel. So I want to say heel, bring them into it, and then release with our okay, break, or release, whatever words we use to release from our stay. It's essentially the same thing. It's just in our heel position. Lila, heel. Ooh, I'm gonna do a little. Yes, good girl, Lila. Good girl. And again, rewarding for staying in there. Good. And releasing. Okay. Good girl. Good job. So, and I want to get that on verbal cue eventually. If you want a hand signal, I recommend doing something like this, or I don't. Sometimes we'll get into a habit of doing a little bit of a dance and bringing them into it. So just make sure you're staying still, and then we can do a heel like that. But saying our verbal cue and doing this first. Lila, heel. And then bringing her into that lure. Yes, good girl. Good job. Good. So if we can have her in here. Yes, good girl, perfect. Good girl. We can have her in here for quite a while with her staring at us as well. If you want some more eye contact, Lila. Okay, let's reset. Okay, good girl. So we did reinforce her for that, but sometimes we just need to reset, especially when we're learning. Just letting her know that that's not what we're getting the reinforced behavior for, but I like that she offered that, so I'm okay with it. So that's our first step. So once we can call just straight up into a stationary heel, Lila, heel. Lila. Oh yeah, that was almost pretty good. Let's try again. Lila, heel. Yes, good girl, good job. So again, I'm fine with that. If you want them closer, then you can be closer for sure. Heel. Let's go into it more. Yes, perfect. Good girl, Lila. Good. Okay, good girl. So that's our first step on that. Good girl, Lila. Good girl. Make sure we're releasing often out of that, and if they ever release, we're putting them back into it. Oh, we're just an excited puppy. We're just an excited girl. Good girl. And then we'll start working on that walking into it. Lila. So when we start walking, again, it's all about position. Lila, heel. Well, that's pretty good. We're gonna do it on the right side though, if that's all right. Yes, good girl. Good job. Good girl, Lila. Once we start walking, it's all about positioning. So I want to still use some food to lure here. Good. And then when I stop, yes, I'm gonna reward right there. Good girl. So I'm not gonna reward in motion, I'll lure in motion. Do an outside turn. Yes, but I'm going to mark and reward once we do that sit, so that we don't get into the habit of them getting that treat while we're walking in that heel position. Oh, we're getting frustrated. Okay, good girl. And then them taking that treat and leaving. So I want to make sure that we're, yes, good girl, luring in that heel. And then, what? Yes, good girl. Only feeding while we're in this position. Okay, good girl. And again, releasing before they break themselves. I'm talking, so I'm having a bad time at that, but releasing before they break themselves. So after that point, if she's able to fully lure with me here, which she isn't fully yet, but that's completely fine. Some dogs as well, you might be able to skip some steps and just do it like this. Lila, heel. Yes, good girl. Some dogs, if you just hold a treat right here, and we walk. Good. Then they will just naturally follow that position. So she's got it a little bit, and then when we stop, yes, good girl, good. So she's already at that point, good girl, where she can just follow that straight up here, then just skip to that step. Yes, good girl, good. Outside turn. Good. And then if we're falling out, so she just fell out of her. Good. Okay. She fell out of her outside turn. What we'll do there is I'll call her into a heel. Yes. Good girl. If we fall out of it, so if I do an outside turn, I did like this, or I did like this, and she's not following that. Oh, she did. Good girl. But now we'll resort to just our hand lure right there. So say she did fall out of it, I'm going to put my hand back into it. Good girl. And I don't want to be at this point, I don't want to be like this. Heel. Good girl. And then just walk. She's got it a little bit. Good girl, Lila. Good. But at this point, she's not quite there yet. Okay, never mind. Well, you are right there. But if we aren't there yet, what you going to do? Yes, that's pretty good. Good girl. Okay. And then they'll just leave because we don't want to correct them too much for leaving. We want to make sure that they're successful for staying on that side so they actually know what that heel position means. Lila! Lila, come! Good girl, your favorite word. Favorite word. Lila, heel. Yeah, that's pretty good. I'm fine with that. And then afterwards, then we'll start adding in the leash. Where did I? Oh, it's on me. Again, loosely, because I want that loose leash on there. I do not want her to be, I don't want to have to hold her in that heel whatsoever. Lila! Heel. We're going to try that again. Heel. Lila. Yes, good girl, good job. So when we're holding the leash, I want to hold it in our left hand so that we can reinforce Good girl. And reinforce with our right hand. Okay, good girl. Let's try again. Yep. Yes, good girl. Good job. So I want to start removing, so I want to have that over here. We want to practice a lot in a lot of different environments. Heel is very, very complex, so you can't just expect them to know a heel in all environments. Try again. Good. So we heel right here. Good. Good job. Yes, and then once we pretty much have all the time, keep this lure in for a long time. That's my biggest mistake that I see is fading up that lure very fast, and then they aren't fully understanding that positioning. Again, don't hold a treat in this hand, it's just a lure. Yes, good job. Just a hand lure. Good girl. Okay, good girl. Good girl, Lila. That's really good. Good job. Oh, it's a little exciting. Keep that lure in for a very long time, and then once we're pretty much in all environments able to do have her heel like this and for a longer period, then we will start removing that hand. I will keep that in for a very long time through all, especially if we have a growing puppy like Lila over here, a lot of time so that we can do that and they fully understand where they should be and what the position is. And if they fall out of that position, make sure we're going back to a hand lure down here or even a food lure over there. There's nothing wrong with that while they're learning that position at all. Again, we want them to be successful with that. We don't want to tell them that they're wrong for it. Good girl, Lila. Are you ready? Yeah. Okay, good girl. Lila, here. Yes, good girl. Good job. So how about on here? What I start doing here is I want to remove this hand over here first, and then she can leave that hand alone. Yes, and just independently kind of look up at me. If you would like more eye contact, you were also able to move our hand up here so that we can keep more eye contact with it. I don't need eye contact a lot of the time as long as they're just with us. Yes, very good, Lila. Good girl. And then once they're able, but over here, once they're able to take our hand off of here, or to ignore our hand over here. Good girl, Lila. Good. In all positions, again. You're doing awesome, Lila. Yes, good girl. Then, only then, we'll move our leash to over here. Itchy. Lila, heel. You're a little stuck. I was told you don't know a heel, but you seem to know it on that side. Yes, good girl. Then we'll move it over here. Heel. Good girl. Again, I want this to be a loose leash. I do not want to keep holding her in it. So she's not quite there yet, and see, that's where she's falling out. So at that point, I do not want to correct her or tell her no, anything like that. I want to prompt her back in. Good girl. Continue walking. Make sure that I sit and then release her from that. Good. And then if she's been distracted by something and she's come out of the heel to go get that, you can release, or okay, release to whatever excited her before, so that she understands. She heels past if she would like to go sniff whatever or see whatever. Good girl. Good job. Good. And then that's our full steps of heel to all the way right here. She has a pretty good. She's doing very, very good at focusing. Good girl. Oh no. And then we lose her in some scenarios like that. I don't want to pull her back with the leash. I want to make sure I'm just re-luring her here, because the leash does not give any information where she should be. It just gives her information that's not the right spot. So I want to use our hand to give her information of what the right thing is there. So she's a pretty good one, but I will show you. I'll go grab my dog and I'll show you what kind of a good heel looks like.